Let's roll our next segue.
Yeah, Florida. Nobody is in Florida's league. Nobody is in Florida's league. Okay.
You're going to have to write me a limerick. Get your pen and paper out.
Oh, no. God.
For my culture news, we're going to be talking about the Day of the Dead, which is a Mexican holiday. But Spain is celebrating it. Look at that. Let's not try to go into the, think too hard about why they're celebrating it. Let's just celebrate the festival. Yeah. This is our on Your News Culture by Maria Munoz Rio. Casa de Mexico in Madrid is exhibiting the largest altar to the dead in Europe. Guillermo Gonzalez is designer of this year's showcase, which offers a cornucopia of color and dance to Mexican. The Day of the Dead is much more Spanish than Halloween, explains Susana. Why did they do asterisks? It's just like the Day of the Dead is much more Spanish than Halloween. Asterisk, quotation mark, asterisk. I was like, did they say a curse word at the end? Like, what is that? Explains Susana Diego, director of the Culture de Casa de Mexico, explaining that the importance of this tradition is that gaining an ever-increasing number of followers in Spain. In contrast to Halloween, which is a more gloomy holiday based on the sale of sweets and things which go bump the night, Day of the Dead unites pre-Hispanic Mexican traditions with Spanish ones to celebrate life and what lies beyond death. In order to showcase Mexican customs for the 8th consecutive year, the Casa de Mexico in Madrid has set up an altar of the dead, designed for this edition by architect and photographer Guillermo Gonzalez. The Cabaret of Memories, the largest altar to the dead in Europe, is inspired by the Mexican cabaret of the first decades of the 20th century, heavily influenced by French and German cabaret. Guillermo Gonzalez wanted to base his altar on this celebration of music and dance, whose elements evoke the presence of happy souls that continue to shine even in the afterlife. Yeah, let's not be scared of death, let's celebrate it. The striking and colorful altar features several spectacular pieces, such as 12 life-size performers, 62 glass spheres, a candelabra of skeletons or bones, a small cupboard of devils, as well as a rack of more than 60 skulls, a Mesoamerican ritual structure. The skulls of those sacrificed in honor of the gods were displayed. Hey, we're gonna sacrifice you, but at least you get to go on our Hall of Fame wall! Thanks. The tour proposed by the institution takes us back to a more vibrant Mexico of the 30s and 40s. We're gonna have to start saying 1930s and 1940s because it's gonna be the 30s soon. In our time.
Right. Right.
The 1930s and 40s. A homely place with the traditional altar on the top floor. Visitors can leave a message in the memory of their loved ones. Notes that once the Day of the Dead has passed, what began as a tradition among the institution's employees to have a piece of Mexican folklore on their side of the ocean has become a key date in the agenda in Spain. Hell yeah, counter-cultural revolution. Instead of being taken over by Spanish culture, they take over some of Spain with Mexican culture. The altar is becoming increasingly popular as people seek to learn more about Mexican culture and its death as another phase of existence. Since 2003, this celebration has been recognized by UNESCO as intangible heritage of humanity. The 7 levels of a Day of Dead altar represent the path that the soul of the deceased must travel to reach eternal rest, symbolizing purification and protection during its journey. Although the composition may vary, a general rule that follows are placed in levels: the saint of devotion, the souls in purgatory, salt for purification, the traditional pan de muerto, the favorite food of this deceased, a photograph of the deceased, and finally a cross made of seeds of time. Another element that cannot be missing is the marigold flower, with strong orange tones and characters smell that guides the dead on their journey. The Casa de Mexico altar can be visited throughout Madrid until November 9th, so get to Spain and go visit! Guided tours last about 25 minutes and can be booked through the website of Casa de Mexico. If you would like some special tour and somebody to explain to you all the elements in case you're not Mexican, then go ahead, go there, Tickets are available at the Casa de Mexico until November. That's all I have to say. Not sponsored. Did I talk too fast?
Yeah, you did.
Oh.
I thought maybe you had 2 stories. No, just one.
No, it's all culture news is usually just one, except for the past few days where I haven't had a lot.
It's really good once I finish it.
I can explain what the altar looks like. Think a stairway with purple steps leading up, and then you have a bunch of skeletons dressed up in cabaret. So if you've ever seen the musical Cabaret, you know, and it's the 40s and 30s, so they have kind of the post-flapper style. Lots of color.
Okay, I'm ready.
Things on their heads.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're ready? Okay.
I wasn't really listening. I was writing. But anyway, the Day of the Dead has gone to bed. In Spain, dead spirits come to life instead. But the feeling, it was mostly just a feel. This activity was really not real, or not actually real. See, again, I'm reading it before I wrote it. Generalissimo Francisco Franco is still dead. Thank you. That rhymes with this. I can do it again after I write it. It might be better. So. Yeah, and you ripped through that story so fast. I was like, you gotta catch a bus or something?
It wasn't a long story, to be fair.
Oh my god. For a limerick, man, you gotta like slow me down. Anyway, I totally misread the limerick I almost wrote. It was funny, trust me. In my head, it was funny. It's terrible the way I wrote it. I'm totally disgusted. And I was totally had no time to look up a mic drop. So here I am, stuck with a mic drop because I had no time.